Hey, what's up, guys? Rye here. I've got another app here for you. And man, it's just been third party app Christmas for these devices here lately. This one is designed specifically for AYN Thor in that second screen. It is called Megingiard, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm gonna give you a little bit of overview about what it does and how to set that up, show you a little bit of examples on how I'm using it so far in these first few days, and then let you, use your imagination, come up with your own solutions. All right, guys. So, Megingiard is a bespoke companion app specifically for AYN Thor and the dual screens. It uses modern Jetpack composed interfaces to turn the secondary display into a fully interactive tool belt, latency free, which is really important on something with two screens, multi cutout mirror, virtual keyboard, touchpad, and macros, which can offer a great degree of freedom. We're going to get into that a little bit later. So right now we're going to do this first example, which you are already seeing on screen. This is one of the primary examples of things. The type of game that I would probably kind of use it for is the original Diablo here. This is through Devolution X. And honestly, the main reason for that for me specifically is just, higher visibility on things like that red orb, which is your health in this case, the blue orb on the right, which is empty as you see right now, which would be the mana, and just the tool belt. And you'll see a little bit later in the video that uppermost slash of the screen just shows you a blown up version of the name of the character you're talking to or who you're targeting. All right, now guys, super quick. To get the app, you're going to want to go to the GitHub for Storm Panda, awesome name by the way, and click the releases button for Megingiard and scroll on down through that release section down till you get to the APK and go ahead and download that. Once you get that installed and opened up, you're going to get prompted into the settings here to set up the accessibility services, which is the main thing it uses to access your machine. There is also privilege mode, which you see here, which helps you get the most out of your macros. We're going to come back to how to set that up here in a few minutes. These general settings are pretty self-explanatory. You've got the theme settings here, a little bit about sharing profiles and creating backups of those profiles. And I'm going to let you figure that one out. It's all pretty self-explanatory. Good descriptions here for the most part anyway. Outside of that, this is kind of what your home screen looks like, basically access to your profiles, where you can go in and set up each one of them individually, which we're going to look at next. All right, we're going to start with the most basic implementation possible, really. This is Valheim, so I'm going to go ahead and set it up so we have a mini map on this lower screen. Once you're within your game, your application, you're going to want to open up Megingiard on this lower screen, and you're going to get prompted to cast to the screen. You're going to hit Start. From there, you're going to want to pull down from the top in this lower screen here, and you're going to want to go to your specific profile. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll to VH, and we're going to go to screen mirroring. If I can click on it here, there we go. So then you're going to get your cutouts here. You just hit crop, and then it's going to give you this little box, and it's going to show you, see I've got the map selected here, and then you shape it between these two. So you get it to the shape you want here, and then you kind of set it here and then maximize it here. So then what you have is the map. And you can see here, I actually kind of set it a little bit too wide. So I'm going in here, refining it and kind of getting it the right size and shape that I want. So it's taking up as much screen as possible while not having, a bunch of moving background pieces in the back here as I try to chop down this tree. Don't judge me too harshly. I know nothing about this game, really. Get back here, food. Get over here! All right, so this is pretty much the most basic setup you can have on this application, which is a single cutout for something like a mini map, but you can actually have several cutouts, which you're going to look at next. Here we've got BOTW running the Eden emulator. We actually have three cutouts here, as you can see. Got the top one with the hearts and things like your sword and shield, the power-ups in the left-hand side, and the mini map and the time and temperature and all those things on the right on the bottom side. So we got a nice cutouts of all those things here for this one. This one's particularly awesome for me as a lifelong RTS fan. You can see me running Warcraft 2 here in DOSBox, using the lower screen as a simulated touch screen without having to, lift your hand up and kind of mug up the top one with your fingerprints. I've actually got two buttons set up here on the screen as well, one of which I just clicked here, sets it up as a software level mouse. So you can use this basically as a trackpad. The other is a basically a scroll wheel, which is great for things like web browsing. You can see that trackpad in action here as well. This is Pharaoh, another one of my favorite RTS games of all time. 1999, old game now, but as you can see, it kind of operates just like a regular trackpad. So you can, almost treat it like you're on a laptop. Another kind of probably underappreciated way to use this exact same config is using it in the web browser. I've got Chrome here and I've got the screencast going so I can scroll on through, and I've got the little scroll functionality there. This is me, just on the GitHub page again, showing how you can, do the exact same functionality with a little bit more versatility here. Lastly, we're going to set up the macro functionality. So you want to go to your About Handheld settings and down to your build number and tap it 7 times to activate developer mode if you haven't already done that. Then you go into developer options, scroll on down until you get to wireless debugging. Go ahead and turn that on. From there, you go back into Megingiard and general settings and the privilege mode, and then you're going to hit next. And from there, you're going to set up the information based on the prompt using your port number and the number given to you in wireless debugging. Then once that's all linked, we want to go in here and set up our macros, hit new macro and hit OK on that. And here's where you can kind of dial everything in and add gamepad functionality for certain triggers. I'm going to show you a real basic version I did here for Breath of the Wild. For a button I added on the lower screen, he's going to run forward, jump, and then slash. Anyone who's ever played a Zelda game knows what that looks like. So here's the very basic version of that. Then you can go ahead and add the button. See the little red one there? That's down at the bottom. That's me setting up the macro into the game. And now you see on the normal setup that we had, we've got that button here now. So now that's going to execute the macro. So he's going to run forward for the predetermined amount of time, jump, and slash. And again, this is just a super basic overview of what a macro can do in a game. An Android game where there's touchscreen buttons would be even probably more appreciated functionality, but this is just a real high level of what you can do. That about does it for this sort of first look at Megingiard. I haven't really had too many issues with it so far. Really, the only main thing so far is it seems to be conflicting with Mjolnir. As you can see here, it does trying to crash Mjolnir when you use this and then leave it and try to go back to your normal home screen, but I expect that'll be patched in time. I'm also running several side loaded things here, including Thor Wayfinder, which, swaps the screen. So there might be conflict with that. Who knows? But anyway, so this is just a first look. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Thanks.